Hi everybody. So I don't normally do blogs, but I normally leave that to my dog. My glasses look really crooked. But and when I do my little dog vlog with Gracie. However, I felt really compelled to do a vlog. I haven't really had a lot of time to go through this magic here. I'm going to show you. You can see that. That is Kurt Cobain's journals, and it's been out for a while, but I felt guilty for purchasing it, so it took me a long time to really purchase it because I felt like I was invading his privacy, but I felt like I needed to buy it, and I'm really glad that I did. It's like complete magic. I mean, let's just put it that way. It's Kurt Cobain, but I felt really compelled to show you guys a certain part of this book that was like such a weird coincidence for me because Dumb is one of my favorite songs from him. If most of you don't know it and you're not a Kurt Cobain and a Nirvana fan, I would suggest going and listening to it, reading the lyrics. It kind of just speaks volumes about who Kurt was and how he was feeling, especially at the end, I think. And I mean, I'll read it to you really quickly, but of course it's not Kurt Cobain. So, but it's amazing because it says, not finished. Not finished. That's what I love about these journals. They're amazing. But, it's, I'm not like them, but I can pretend. The sun is gone, but I have a light. The day is done, but I'm having fun. I think I'm dumb, or maybe just happy. My heart is broke, but I have some glue. Help me inhale and mend it with you. We'll float around and hang out on clouds. Then we'll come down and have a hangover. Skin the sun and fall asleep. Breathe away, soul is weak. Lesson learned, soothe the burn. Wish me luck, wake me up. So for me, like, he obviously had mental issues that stemmed way before he became a star. And I think for Kurt, my main point of this blog, and you'll see in a minute, I think that people end up taking something that maybe they're passionate about or they think is the right thing to do, and they replace it as a catalyst for what they should be doing. And I think Kurt didn't get that he was going to be like this huge star. Like, I think he was following his dream, but then when society and all of the fans kind of placed him in this like mega truth for like our generation and for punk rock and for music and art, I think it was too much for him because he obviously was already extremely a hermit. And so throwing himself out there on that stage, it was rough. And I think he didn't expect for our society to place him into the limelight the way that we did. You know, I was 12 years old, about 11 years old when Smells Like Teen Spirit came out. And I will never forget listening to that song and seeing him in the music video, and MTV used to play music videos, and thinking to myself, holy shit, this guy is going to change everything. Music, sound, punk rock, the way art is seen and shown and heard. And it was amazing. And unfortunately, that was pretty much the idea of everybody who was a fan of Nirvana. And some will say that he was fake, or that, you know, he didn't want to be, you know, he'll say he didn't want to be that person who was going to change everything and be a voice for like the young adolescents and stuff. But I mean, obviously at some part of him had to want that. But I think sometimes when we want stuff, we don't realize how much responsibility comes with that. And again, this is, I digress, the whole point of my blog or vlog. But following this dumb, unfinished piece in his journal, he goes on to talk about how, he says, I've been told that an artist is in need of constant tragedy to fully express their work. but I'm not an artist. And when I say in a song, that doesn't necessarily mean that person is me, and it doesn't mean I'm just a storyteller. It means whoever or whatever you want, because everyone has their own definition of specific words. And when you're dealing in the context of music, you can't expect words to have the same meaning as everyday vocabulary. Because I consider music art, and when I say that song is art, I don't mean in comparison to a painting, because I feel the visual arts are not nearly as sacred as the transcribed or audio communications. But it is art, and I feel this society somewhere has lost its sense of what art is. Art is expression. In expression, you need 100% full freedom. And our freedom to express our art is seriously being fucked with. Fuck, the word fuck has as many connotations as does the word art, and I'm far beyond the point of sitting down and casually explaining this problem to the right-wing control freaks who are the main offender of destroying art. I won't calmly and literally complain to you. I'm going to fucking kill. I'm going to fucking destroy your macho, sadistic, sick, right-winged, religiously abusive opinions on how we as a whole should operate according to your conditions before I die. Many will die with me, and they will deserve it. See you in hell. Love, Kurt Cobain. Thanks for the tragedy. I need it for my art. Punk rock is art. Punk rock to me means freedom. The only problem I've had with the situations punk rock gives is that absolute denial of anything is sacred. I find a few things sacred, such as the superiority of women and the Negro contributions to art. I guess what I'm saying is that art is sacred. Punk rock is freedom, expression, and right to express. Virtually anyone can be artistic. So, I mean, here's the thing. So, anybody can read that and totally be judgy and say, this guy had fucking problems. He was mentally ill. He was, just too into himself, okay? That's the reason why Kurt's, whole career killed him, I think. Because so many of his fans were so judgy, and they expected him, I don't know, to say things the way they wanted him to say them. Here's the thing, and of course, this is the whole point of my vlog. Do what you want to do. Don't try and fit in what society's mold says you should do. If you want to have children, have them. If you're in a loving relationship and you feel like procreating is the next step to your relationship and you want to have children for the right reasons, do it. But if you think that children are going to fix your problems and it's going to fix your marriage or your relationship or complete you in some way. One of my biggest pet peeves, and sorry to all my mom friends out there, but you all know who you are, saying that the most fulfilling words in the world are hearing, I love you, mommy. Okay, here's the thing. Maybe they are to you, but to some people, that's not the most fulfilling thing people are ever going to hear. Some people want to hear that and can't because they can't have children or they can't find a partner or whatever the case may be. Again, I digress. My point is that do what you're going to do for yourself. Don't do it because society says you should do it, and definitely don't think it's going to fix something and be a catalyst to your problems, because it's not going to work. Too many people think that if they fulfill something that's really underlining with something else, that, oh, it's great, like children. That's like the perfect example. Oh, well, if I have a child, it'll fix my marriage or it'll fulfill me. And that's what I'm supposed to do now. I'm such and such age and my family says I should start having children and this is what I need to do. No, that's basically what everyone else is telling you to do. Okay. I'm a great example of this. I'm 35 years old. It's not that I don't want children. It's not that I don't love children. I love children. Children love me. I have a lot of friends with children. I have a good time with children. I'm not sitting around having a clicking clock or anything like that. My clock is not ticking. I don't feel incomplete because I don't have children. I don't feel incomplete because I'm not married. Those things for me are bonuses to somebody's life. If they happen, great. If they don't, oh well. It's not going to ruin our lives if we don't fit this white picket fence, American dream that everybody says you're supposed to do. I'm in school. That's what I'm doing full time. I love what I do. It's my passion. I've evaluated it over and over that it's absolutely not a catalyst for something else that I'm trying to fulfill. A lot of people would believe that about me, that because I don't have kids and because I'm not married or whatever, that this was like a way for me to fulfill that. No, it's not. Like, if people really feel like that about me, then they really don't know me, and that's really sad. And I know a lot of people that are close to me feel that way. And I think Kurt went through that. I think Kurt, people expected him to get on that stage and express his music and his talent. But the bottom line is that I really don't think he knew like how crazy it was going to explode. Like, at some point he had to realize like he was going to be famous, and he was living his passion, and he was writing great music, and he had a great band and a great sound. And I mean, he was changing music. And I mean, I think a part of him really enjoyed that, but I think it was just too much. So I say to you people, don't do anything that, I mean, even if you're good at it, like, there's an old story of Kurt Cobain that, like, his uncle or somebody offered him, like, a bicycle or a guitar, and he picked the guitar. Obviously, he had a passion for music when he was really young. Obviously, he had the ability to write music and be a freak and not care about, like, what he was saying or whatever. But make sure it's what you want to do. Like, even if you're good at it, that doesn't mean that that's what you should be doing. I know a lot of people who are living in careers that they really thought they were going to enjoy, and they're miserable. They go to work day in and day out, and they're just like, oh my God, like, what did I do with my life? Like, what should I be doing right now? I'm so tired of my job. It's so mundane. I feel like I'm in a rut. Change it. You live one time, right? So instead of being stuck where you feel like your only out is death and you think that suicide's going to fix that, it's not. Obviously, that's like the end to everything. But talk to people and like talk about why you're upset and talk about why you're miserable and talk about your pain and your feelings and be open to people. And if you have people in your life that are not willing to listen to those real emotions and they can't handle it, get the fuck out. Trust me, it's not worth sticking around with people that are toxic because it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And I think Kurt Cobain had that. We all know Courtney Love, not all there, okay? His daughter Frances, I believe that he loved her. Of course he loved her. I mean, he wanted to be a father and he wanted to have a family because Kurt didn't have that when he was young. Again, doing something for the wrong reasons. Don't have children because you had a bad childhood or because you didn't have a big family and you feel like having 20 kids is going to fulfill that in some way. It's not going to fulfill it. It's not going to fulfill it. And I think Kurt, like, even after Frances' daughter was born, it just wasn't enough because he was not facing his real problems. So please, I beg of you, anybody who watches this video, reach out to somebody that you love, reach out to somebody that you trust, get some help, because we have such a problem with people and suicide, and it's all because people are like trying to fulfill this, like, whatever society says they're supposed to be doing. Like, stop. Because ultimately you're living for somebody else. You're living for somebody else's like way that you're supposed to live. And then you're going to die for the same reason because you can't take living their way anymore. Right? So ultimately, everybody has controlled you your entire life right up into the decision to commit your death. So be done with it. Like, reach out to somebody, change your life, get up off the couch, get out of that job, get out of that marriage. Get away from the toxic people around you, whether they're your children or your family or your boss or your wife or your husband, whatever. They're just people, and eventually life's going to go on as long as that's what you want. And I think, like, my whole point to this was reading Kurt Cobain's journals today. I feel like if he had had the right people around him, he would still be here. And I think that if he was offered the proper help, he'd still be here. Toxic people make toxic situations worse. So, I mean, if you're not getting the support that you need from your friends and your family, it's time to go. Anyway, so that was like my impromptu vlog. I really felt compelled to do this. I may not even do it ever again. But I just think that suicide is such a big problem right now. And I think that if we just reached out, we would be okay. So anyway, thanks for listening to my long 15-minute rant about Kurt Cobain. For real, like, sorry it's backwards, but this is amazing. I can't believe that I waited so long, but again, I told you it was because I felt like I was invading his privacy. So, but it's probably one of like the greatest things that I'll ever own. I'm a huge Nirvana fan, a huge Kurt Cobain fan. Obviously, I wouldn't be making a vlog. So anyway, go out and get it. It's like really cheap on Amazon. You'll completely enjoy it. It's an amazing look into his life, and I think that it'll help other people who are struggling the same way that he was. So anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.